Gitmo is kidding me. That's how an inmate at Guantanamo Bay describes his ordeal after a 2-month hunger strike in the notorious U.S. prison. Samir Najial Hassan Moqbel says he's lost almost 15 kilograms since going on strike. In his account published in the New York Times, he also describes how prison guards forcefully fed him and other inmates in an effort to break their strike. Moqbel has called on the world to take the sufferings of Guantanamo inmates seriously before it's too late. The mass strike began after prison guards began desecrating copies of the Holy Quran and confiscating the inmates' personal items. Most of the Gitmo inmates have never been charged with a crime or put on trial. Mark Mason is an activist and political commentator who's with me now live from San Francisco. Let's get his thoughts on this. Now, Mr. Mason, there has been, of course, a lot said by the U.S. authorities about the hunger strike. Some have been denying the hunger strike is taking place at all. But how serious do you think this problem has become for those who are running Gitmo?
Very serious. We have a minimum of 40 people, 40 prisoners at Guantanamo who are on the hunger strike. There have been reports from attorneys of some of the prisoners that it's much, much higher than that, perhaps double that. The United States now does acknowledge that 11 prisoners are on emergency force feedings, tubes being forced down their noses to keep them alive. And this practice has been condemned by the prisoners, condemned by the attorneys, and also condemned by the International Red Cross.
We've heard a lot of reports, Mr. Mason, that one of the reasons behind this hunger strike is the fact that these prisoners are saying we are being held here indefinitely without charges being brought up against us, without a fair trial. Is this an issue that you think authorities are prepared to tackle or are prepared to basically resolve for them?
166 prisoners at Guantanamo prison. 6 have been charged with crimes. The remainder should either be released or the United States government has a responsibility to file charges. 86 have been cleared by the U.S. government for release. 86 of them are sitting in prison, some of them for more than a decade, with the United States government publicly acknowledging that they will not charge them with the crime, they have not, and they should be released. So the United Nations UN Commissioner Navi Pillay has recently, in the past week, condemned the very existence of Guantanamo prison, calling for it to be closed. So we have abuses of human rights here that are just astonishing. But it's a show prison. The United States government is the global bully. Like in a schoolyard, they have to create something called cred. Cred here in the United States is a slang term. It's short for credibility. And the best way to establish credibility for a global bully is to commit real cruelty against someone to show as an example to other people around the planet that the United States is boss. We give orders and people take orders.
Mr. Mark Mason, activist and political commentator with us there live from San Francisco. Thank you very much.